backcourt. Hammonds throws it into Anthony. Here we go. Clock ticks at 7. Edwards across the timeline now. Sets the screen. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Edwards for the win for 3. Good! Good! He hit it! 0.2 seconds to go! Woo! 28-footer! Oh my goodness!
All right, guys, so Georgia's athletic season ended yesterday. The Georgia Bulldogs baseball team lost 9-11 to Oklahoma State in one of the most heartbreaking games. I told you that probably laps 2022 North Carolina as far as heartbreaking losses, but unfortunately it did happen. So that means Georgia's athletic season is now over. We will have a top 10 moments of the athletic season video, but we're just going to do this. We did it last year and we did it a year before, so we're going to give a quick wrap around of the or some of my favorite moments from the athletic season. We'll start with Georgia soccer starting from August. Volleyball soccer season starts. It's always a fun time. Everybody's always talking about football. But when you hit that second week of August, I'm very excited for Georgia volleyball and soccer. That kind of brings you into football season when Georgia soccer usually plays twice a week. They'll probably play a Thursday and then Sunday. And then Georgia volleyball could play up to 3 games in one day. So many Georgia athletics around that time. And then you get a few more weeks until football season. And then, Georgia soccer will be playing on week 0 of what they call college football. It's a week where only like a few teams play. When week 0 hits, yes, we're watching college football, but we're also watching soccer. Then, man, when week 1 hits and Georgia plays, it is a great feeling. So, in a day, I'm just going to give you this as an example. Or in a weekend, so Saturday and Sunday, you could have Georgia volleyball starting at 10 a.m. and then turn around and play again at 2 p.m. and then Georgia football at 5 p.m. So it is really a eventful and great day. And you add on the other teams, the countless other teams who play during college football season. It makes for a great day. And speaking of college football season, football, no matter what Georgia fan base tries to tell you, Georgia football season this year was a success. It might not end how everybody wanted it to end, but the season definitely was a success with wins over Clemson, Auburn, Tennessee, Georgia Tech. Georgia beat everybody, and Florida, the Dogs beat everybody. They almost needed to beat. Unfortunately, Georgia did drop 3 games, 2 in the regular season. Georgia dropped games to Alabama. Georgia dropped games at Ole Miss, and Alabama was away game too. So at Alabama, at Ole Miss, and then unfortunately in the playoffs in the Sugar Bowl to Notre Dame. So, 3 losses, that's the first time that's happened in a while, but not to complain or anything. Georgia still had a great season. Like I said, you beat Georgia Tech, you beat Tennessee, you beat Florida, you beat Clemson, which was a rivalry game. You beat almost everybody you needed to beat, but you just did not beat Alabama or Ole Miss, and then, like I said, unfortunately, you lost in the playoffs. So, and then not mention the most obvious one. You beat Texas twice. You beat Texas in Texas, and then you beat Texas in the SEC championship. So Georgia does have a ring and does have a trophy for football in the 2024-25 season. They have a SEC championship ring. Let's move over to what most of this will be about, and that's, of course, basketball. Georgia basketball season wasn't great, right? A great success. Georgia makes the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015. It was not without some bumps and road curves and wrong turns along the way, as Georgia had a horrible losing streak there for a little while. It looked like Georgia would not be making the NCAA tournament, and the Dogs get a bye week. They get a bye week after they play Missouri. Then after that, they don't play Auburn. They get a week off or so. Then they play the Auburn Tigers, and Georgia comes out rejuiced. They almost beat Auburn at Auburn, and then the game against Florida happens. Georgia upsets the Gators, which, spoiler alert, will be the number one moment on, well, probably number two, actually, because I believe the number one moment would be Georgia getting announced to the NCAA tournament. I know that did not go good. Georgia, once again, it was like 27-3 at one point. But just being in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015 was just, icing on the cake. It was wonderful. But, you think about the teams Georgia did beat. They beat Florida, then they beat Texas, then they beat South Carolina, then they end the season with a 4-game winning streak versus Vanderbilt. So, I mean, does it make up for the... And look, it would have been nice to beat Tennessee. It would have been nice to beat Auburn in Athens. It would have been nice to win some of the games you should have won. You should have not lost to Mississippi State. You should have not lost to Missouri. You should have not lost to Arkansas. But, so anyway, that's all I was saying. You wanted to win the games that you should have not lost, but at the end of the day, Georgia did not. But, I mean, cannot complain about an NCAA tournament appearance. And once again, I'm just so proud of our players and coaches for making that happen, because it looked like for a while there, ladies and gentlemen, Georgia would not be going to the NCAA tournament, let alone even any other tournament. That's how bad it looked. But thankfully for Georgia, it got better. So I mean, I'm just so proud of Georgia basketball and how everything went out this year. I wouldn't change anything. And we go to baseball too. Georgia baseball had a very interesting year. They were predicted to be, a lot of people had Georgia going to the World Series. And here we are today on June 2nd talking about how they've been knocked out and eliminated in the NCAA regionals. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, just heartbreaking. I mean, you go down 3-0, you come back and take a 7-3 lead. Well, then eventually Oklahoma State ties it. You go up 9-7, and then Oklahoma State ties it, and then they hit a home run to win 11-9. I mean, it don't get more heartbreaking than what Georgia did last night. The amount of runners Georgia left stranded will cost anybody any baseball game, and it did indeed for Georgia last night. Think about it, it's just not Georgia. Vanderbilt got knocked out. The Florida Gators got knocked out. Clemson got knocked out. And I had Clemson going to the World Series. Texas got knocked out by UTSA. I was about to forget about that one. I wasn't going to let you forget about it. I wasn't going to forget it. People's got to look at themselves, man, and look in the mirror and that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Half the great schools have been knocked out. So are they really as great as we think they are? And as far as Georgia goes, this one hurt. And this will be one that haunts the Dogs for a very, very long time. It's Wes Johnson's second year, so perhaps I'm being a little overdramatic. But when you lose like you did, people forget this Georgia team beat Arkansas and Florida. And they are not playing no more. They are done. And that is a tough pill to swallow. That one, that hurts. And then, some of the other sports. Women's tennis won the national championship over Texas A&M. So great for women's tennis. Georgia soccer once again made it to the playoffs. Or the tournament. Unfortunately got knocked out. Georgia women's basketball had a subpar season. I really, really hope that we could turn it around. Georgia women's basketball should not be where it's at this point. this will be Coach Abe's. This has to be Coach Abe's get it together season, or I'm giving her the boot. But we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, this is a basketball mainly channel. We're gonna start talking football as well. But at the end of the day, I'm just so proud of Georgia basketball and where they went this season. They had a great season. Georgia, I forgot, gymnastics had a great season too. For the first year with their co-coaches, they had a really good year. Now I'm trying to think of anything I left off. Softball, Georgia softball had a very, very disappointing season. Didn't even win an SEC series. Still made it and then got knocked out at the very last game. I cannot remember who they got knocked out by right now, but yeah. That's it. So Georgia's 24-25 athletic season is done. I appreciate everybody watching all season long. We're not going nowhere. We'll have, of course, basketball videos. I'm about to record a football video because times for Georgia's football games have been announced for at least some of the games. We'll have soccer and volleyball when the season starts. But as of now, that is it. And sometime in August, we will open up the 25-26 athletic season, and I'm very excited for that. So thank you for watching all athletic season long, for SEC championship and football to making the NCAA tournament in basketball to getting knocked out in the regionals in baseball. You saw it all here, and I greatly appreciate it. And I do want to say, I just want to give a disclaimer. The reason I had planned to do baseball videos the entire season. If you notice, I believe after one of their last non-conference series, the week before they played the Gators, the videos dropped off, and I sincerely apologize for that. But my computer messed up, and I was not able to record. I was not able to record any games, so I sincerely apologize for that. But guys know if I had my computer, I would have been rocking and rolling with football, with basketball, with baseball, just like I would have any other sport. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and go Dogs.
I could die and never cry for you. All the bleeding hurt you thought were true. Turned your back on you again, it seems. Burned and broken just like all your dreams. So it takes a while to realize all the signs.
Ezra tries to pick it up. He's got to throw it up at the horn. And it goes! It goes! It goes, baby! A three-pointer! A three-pointer! The Dogs have won it!